All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here. We're live. We're taking your questions. So get them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. I'm going to try to answer everyone's questions, hang out, maybe super chat. We'll win something, like a jacket from Air Blaster because I've got this extra large puffer that we're trying to get through. Also, update for everyone. We're almost done with the destroying pants thing. This is what's left of one pair. It's one pant leg. So, yeah, we're making headway on that. That video I should finish filming that this weekend, which will be nice because then we can finally dig into everything that's going on with the crappy pants. Also, new products slowly coming to the store. Side slip and slim pin. So that'll eventually make it up in some way, shape, or form. If you're new here and you don't know how things roll, basically you ask a question, I answer it. Super chats get a spin of the wheel. We kind of talk about things. I eventually go off on a rant. Someone gets butthurt and probably leaves me a hate-filled comment. I guess Sunday night's live stream, which was first for since 2019, 2020, really offended some people. Oops. Oh, well. Anyways, sorry it took me a minute to get things started. I was just checking in on my dog. She got spayed 2 weeks ago, and she just kind of got cleared yesterday, so we're making sure she was okay. All right, so first question comes from Hamster Cool Bean in the form of a super chat. Size recommendations for a ride, Peace Seeker for size 11 boots, 185 pounds, carving. What would you take it over Would you take it over an Amplid Soli Grail? Spin for Slim's Miata. You want the 151. They carve differently. They're both great carving boards for sure. I actually preferred the Peace Seeker, though. I really dug riding that in the 51. It was just a really good board. So, yeah. And this is for Slimothy Whitman's Miata. May it rest in peace wherever it drove off a cliff. Spray skiers. Okay, next question comes from Centauri 2410. Hi, Avran. I have an opportunity to buy a barely used ride algorithm for the same price as a new Shadow Band. Which one? So I really like the Shadow Band. Great board. You got to ask yourself, how much carbon do you need in it? If you need a lot more carbon, you want it more reactive, something that you're going to have to put your weight into to get the spring and everything out of, then you go with the algorithm. If you want something that's a little easier to flex and a little easier to engage, then you go with the Shadow Band. This is just a funny one from Drew Gallagher. Avran's top 5 drops, and it's got me calling Evo to swap into the Worka. Yeah, yesterday's top 5 hyped boards for 2023. Wasn't expecting that much of a reaction out of you guys. Oops. A lot of people really liking that. All right, we got Brian B. looking for a playful board with 3BT for butters, jibbing, and groomer with the family. I'm 185 pounds and a size 9 boot. What do you suggest? You probably just want to go with the Evil Twin, unless you're really trying to go with something super soft. Then you go with the Wally. But the Wally, I mean, that thing's a limp noodle, and it's just you're gonna be able to fold that thing in half. We got Fruit Poop Loops. God save the Slim. You guys are encouraging him. Ooh. Well, remember to subscribe, people. TBTT, where are the Santa Cruz boards made, and are they any good? Never given them a thought until listening to JP Walker. Worth a look or avoid? I haven't ridden them. I really don't care about that brand. Like, every time I think it's dead, it just sort of shows back up, and you're like, holy shit, they still make snowboards. It's cool JP's on them, I guess, if that's, paying his builds and whatnot. Personally, if Forum's coming back, I'd like to see him on that. But as far as where they're made, I heard Playmaker was making them, but I don't think that's actually right. So, Okay. Ryan Frost, good all mountain freestyle twins for East Coast recommendations. Yeah, Capita Super DOA or the DOA, depends on how soft you want to go with. I would also check out the Ride Bench Warmer. If you want a little softer, you go with the Berserker. The GNU Rider's Choice C3, not the C2X. The C3 is going to be better. Plus, you get that magna traction on there to an extent. The Jones Mountain Twin, even though it's directional twin, you're going to end up with a setback on it. You also get that added grip to it. I would also check out the Niche Crux because you're going to get contact points with it. And we're going to throw the Arbor Westmark Camber in there as well. Once again, more traction tech. So that gives you more than a few options. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? All right, we got, oh God, how do I pronounce that? Pomer line. Do you think the Capita DOA is a good idea for someone who just learned turning but wants one do-it-all snowboard for the future? I think it's too much board for you. Bump your ass down to the outer space living from Capita, and it'll be a little bit better. Otherwise, if you're looking for something that you can progress on, that's a twin, I would check out like the Rome Gangplank, the K2 Ray Gun Pop, even the Signal Park series. Those would be options for you. All right. We got our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine, here with a super chat. Rest in peace, L Stacker's Adventure. RIP. Rest in peace. 119 days until I get to ride. Talk about the workout. Are we going to side hit flick our beans? We always side hit flick our beans. So the work is softer than I think people realize, and Fire Cures all, which, by the way, I do have a workout that we'll be giving away for the Black Friday live stream event with Shred Foundation. I haven't figured out where we're putting it for a prize just yet, if it's going to go to the Shred Foundation donation side or if I'm just going to put it randomly into the live stream. But I did buy a Worka limited release when they dropped early spring this year. So I have one to give away. It's, what is it? I think it's the smaller size. I can't remember what size it is. It's been sitting in the other room for months staring at me anyways. Yeah. Let's see. What else? Okay, we got Justin G. Hey, dude, any info on the new TRS you can share? So they added 0.5 of setback and added some bamboo underfoot. Thanks, homie. I actually started editing the LibTech reviews today. So the TRS will be the last one out of the, I think there's 9 that I've got to do. So they made it more freestyle this year with its flex. It's still a high-end board. Yeah, you get that much setback on it. Like, if you're like, I can't ride switch with that much setback, you fucking suck. I hear people say that all the time. But they put those bamboo risers in there. So what it is, yeah, you see that oval where the inserts are, but it's cross-grained. So instead of it going tip to tail, it's going side to side in there. So it's kind of like other companies. So they elevate you, they dampen you with that bamboo in there as well. I've actually got an explained video on what that is that I've got to finish editing that too and get that scheduled for sometime this fall. But it's a high-end freestyle board. That's the way you got to look at it. I mean, Phil Hansen's riding it, and it's up there with like your Capita Super DOAs. Let's see, what else would it be with? It'd be like your Signal Park Pro, your Ride Bench Warmers, stuff like that. Something that's a little bit beefier in it. I rode it. I actually really liked it. It was, compared to older TRSs, like, it's weird because you see that bamboo riser and that's like old school LibTech from like 10 plus years ago being put into it and how that all works. But yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. But that review, once I get that edited, that'll probably drop. My guess is that's going to probably drop early October. All right. Okay, Ted G, looking for a board that will charge like the Aviator 2.0, but is a softer flex for buttering and small park features. East Coast, size 10 boot, 170 pounds. Yes, standard. Thanks, man. You'd probably want to go not with the regular standard. You'd want to go with the standard on ink. That would fit that bill to an extent. The Capita Mega Merc would fit in there. And I would also check out the K2 Passport. So like the Manifest team split into two boards. You got the Antidote and the Passport. I think the Passport would be closer to the Aviator 2.0 than the Antidote would. All right. And we got Ted G with the $10 super chat looking for spin for Slim. Man, always spinning for Slim. Ooh, yeah. What do we got? Oh. Remember, summer tourists are the worst. They are. They're fucking deplorable. Who the hell comes to a mountain town in the summer? People are the worst. And then they bitch and moan about everything. Oh, my golden retriever is so well behaved. As I'm on the ground, like, oh God, it knocked me over from behind and my dog's trying to eat it. Fucking hate them. All right. Liam Woodland, brand notwithstanding, what are the best and worst snowboard factors? I guess quality, working conditions, and environmental impact being the big criteria. Never Summer's the worst. It's one of them. Donic's right up there too. They're just they're absolutely horrible. Prospect Snowboards as well. They used to be out of Wisconsin. I think they moved over to like Reno or something. They're fucking deplorable. Just absolutely horrible. When we get into the best, you're talking like Capita Mothership, just because of their green initiative and how they're doing everything and the way that they do everything. That's up there. GP87 in China is really good. SWS in Dubai is actually putting out a really quality product as well. And I love how people are like, it's in Dubai, human rights violation. And I was like, you ever been to that factory? It's a bunch of white dudes working that make good money and drive really nice cars. Playmaker's kind of your middle ground. And then, when we're talking about middle ground factories, like Marhar is a middle ground factory, Libtech's a middle ground factory. There's Mousen in China that has some quality stuff, but it also pumps out some low end shit too. It's like hit or miss depending which company. Like Endeavor's out of there, solid. Wired's had snowboards out of there. Signal's had stuff out of there. It's good. Let's see. There's the one in Poland that I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. That's pretty solid. There's Utopia in Canada, and it's hit or miss with that. Like, I've seen them make really great stuff. They were making stuff for Rome and Sims. Great. Then they did that Soul Stick, whatever, that fucking crackpot, what's his name? Corin Addison's company. Those boards literally had some of the worst defects cosmetically in a board. Like, I mean, we're talking shit that is about as long as this rubber band, stretched out as wide as my finger, because they didn't clean their fucking cassettes. It's hit or miss on that. The Ride K2 factory is solid. Rosenald's getting stuff made in Taiwan. They used to have the factory in France. The Taiwan factory is solid. It's actually better than the one that was in Spain, France on the border. Because back in the day, it was so funny. The Rosenald boards, you could tell what station they were made at. You'd go down the one sidewall and you'd look at it and you'd be like, okay, tip tail fill, little gap, sidewall, little gap, tip tail fill. Then you turn it and you look on the other side, and the gap between the sidewall and the tip tail fill was like this big, because the guy was like reaching over and not looking at it. So he'd be on this side and he'd line everything up perfectly. The other side, he would just eyeball it, slam it in from above instead of looking at it. So that quality would be there. And you're just like, wow, that's really off. So, it's hit or miss with everything. I think the other thing to consider is there's always factories that sometimes, if they're running 2-3 shifts, you get one shift that's running bad quality control, and you see that come through. There was a year back in the day when Elan was making stuff for Capita and Rome. There were boards. So it was the Capita Stairmaster and was it the Poster Mania? I can't remember what board it was from Rome. But basically, the guy wasn't putting any epoxy down for the top sheets. So they were putting them in, pressing them. The heat would hold it. But after that board hit the cold on the snow, the top sheets would just uncoil and roll back. And you could just take the top sheet right off the board because there was no epoxy. It was a huge manufacturing issue. And yeah, that was not good. So, you know, it's hit or miss on that. Okay. We got Brooke Poulsen. Any breakdown on cutting boots in half to show who is good and who is crap is greatly appreciated. Oh, that's one I want to work on. That one, it's going to take some time to accumulate the boots. I got to go talk to all the homies and figure out who's got what. And then basically what I think I'm going to do is I'll probably just use a nail gun or something, nail gun the boot to a board and take a Sawzall, right down, cut it in half and banana peel it so we can see it. Or I'm either going to do it that way, or I'm going to cut the tongues out, then cut it up and around and peel it apart so we can see the layers and go from there. So, yeah. Jay Nylock, what's the biggest driver of board sales? Tech specs, team, video parts, social media, marketing. It's all marketing. It's marketing and how you can get stuff in front of people. Well, at least for brands, that's how it is. It's like if they're gonna go to their riders and they're gonna be like, we want you to ride this. It's kind of like Marcus Cleveland being put on that ASIM board from Nitro when we all know he's riding a beast. Like, that's what it is. But they put him on that asymmetrical board, which was ass. And they had him doing a bunch of butters and knuckle hucks, and they were trying to push it. And then they put young Dahlia and gave him his drink sexy one, and they were like, we're going to push it. And I was like, that board was ass. And they were trying to push it. Then my review drops, and it's like it doesn't sell. Reviews now, like compared to where we were even 10 years ago, reviews move more product. Like brands are starting to straight up just be like, yeah, we need to give you stuff, and this is what we're pushing. Can you push this if you like it? And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I go out and I'm like, okay, this was good. This was good. This was okay. This was, yeah. And then, you know, it'll get buried in there and stuff. By and large, social media push, you see that do it. Rider push. Parts are kind of hit or miss depending on where they push stuff. I think you see more push coming from something like Natural Selection versus if Torment Mag is pushing a video or Slush or anything like that. Like I was looking at productions that have pushes from like Slush or something, and I'm like, wow, it's been up for 2 weeks and it got 3,000 views. But I can put it in the mystery social link of the week in the live stream, and that would give it more push for just that video part. So it's kind of hit or miss. I also think shop guys still have a huge pull when they're working the sales floor on that. You get a good shop with a guy that really wants to, he's hyped on stuff and he's going to push something. You know, at graphics, it's still a big thing too. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. We got a super chat from Drew Gallagher here. Your top 5 hype boards got me thinking in new ways. Keep the pre-order on the Party Wave Twin or go Spring Break Powder Twin, Golden Orca or Warka. Thanks, dog. If you want 3BT, you stick with that Party Wave Twin. The Spring Break Powder Twin rides like 2 different boards. That's a beast of a board. It's awesome in deep pow, but mellow amounts of pow, like 6 inches or less, it becomes like driving a Cadillac Eldorado in a city that was built in the 1800s. You're just like, boom, that beep, 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 boom. You know, it's just got such a wide turning arc on it. Golden Orca's cool. If you can get over the camber profile on that, it rides better than the regular Orca, which is nice. You got a little bit more tail on it. The Warka is interesting for what it is, it's a specific type of rider. For it's softer than most people are going to think that it is, and then it's got the width. When it's on edge, it carves a little bit different. It just feels to disengage a little bit on the tail compared to others in what you're asking too. So you got to kind of bounce around, see if that's your thing. But I will. So the Worka review drops in 2 weeks, I think. Golden Orca review will drop middle of September. There's already a spring break powder twin review. Party Wave Twin I wasn't able to get on, but it's just the old Magic Carpet renamed. That's it. So you could go look at the Magic Carpet review, which that's a cool board in itself. So that should give you what you're looking for out of that. Let's give you a spin. Right. Remember to subscribe, people. All right, Fruit Poop Loops, Jones Tweaker versus Rome Freaker, which shapes are completely different in them. You got directional twin on the Freaker, true twin on the Tweaker. Camber profiles are different too. Like you got full camber on the Tweaker. The Freaker is, what is that, pop camber? They've got some name for it, but it's got like a mic. I'm pretty sure it's got the micro rocker before it. Then you got to take into account that the Freaker has their pop rods or hot rods or omega rods or whatever the hell they're calling it. But you got 2 in the tail, 1 in the nose. So when you load that up, you're going to get more rebound out of the tail than you would on the nose. Whereas the Tweaker has that reverse core profiling, so it's thicker and stiffer in the tip, softer between the feet, so you get more play in there. Basically, they're really 2 different boards. I see we got over 100 people in here, so we got some new people coming in. If you're just getting in here, you got a question, get it in the chat box wherever it appears on your screen. I'm going to try to answer it. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. There is a prize on the wheel that you could win, an Air Blaster extra large puffer or maybe stickers or something like that. Okay. Nightpree one, is the GNU Gremlin something you would consider to be a quiver killer? Not necessarily, because it's volume shift. It's not a full true quiver killer because it's not a do everything type of board. It has its place. It's a little more free ride oriented, in my opinion. It lacks heavily when you get into the park, and that's just what kind of ruins it. So, okay, we got Osvaldo. You riding Signal boards this coming season? Let's see. Disruptor review drops tomorrow. Park Series drops September. Park Pro is also in September. Womp Eater review's already up. Tail Gunner. I don't think I've scheduled the Tail Gunner yet, or maybe I have. If I have, it's probably next month. And then we got the Sierra, which I don't think I've scheduled yet. So I rode 6 boards from Signal. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got Beziums. Okay. Have some OT money. What money? Overtime money? What was your favorite moment from last season? When it ended and I could rest my Achilles tendon. I've got tendonitis in my left Achilles now. This thing's been killing me for 2 months. So, it's not fun. No, there's some good powder days I had with friends. I think the high point for me was talking with Tommy B and finding some common ground in there and stuff. But also learning that this was another thing that was it was hilarious to learn was that Jonathan Buckhouse didn't learn how to read till he was in the 5th grade. Like, that fact fucking blows my mind. All right. Mr. Force 10, binding recommendations for a Solomon Dance Hall 157. I would be looking at the Union Ultra or Strata. Probably want to go with the Ultra since you're on the 57 Dance Hall. That means you're a big boy. K2 Lean AT. To an extent, the Solomon hologram, but you may want to bump up to the next one, which I don't think is the Quantum. I can't remember what it is. That should give you a few. Do Obesium's a spin. So let's see what we got here. Spray skiers, people. Spray skiers. Or Ian, is the 2019 niche pyre different than the 2022 model? Yeah, it came from a different factory, and after riding the new stuff, the old factory was better. Not gonna lie. All right. Murdoch, Capita Outer Space Living versus K2 Ray Gun. Different camber profiles in the two of them, so you get a little more camber in, or well, both actually. Or I shouldn't say camber, you get a bigger flat section in the K2 is what I meant. So that's going to change the stability on the two. The ray gun's a little more stable than the Outer Space Living, but the Outer Space Living, I think, carves a little bit quicker. It's also a little bit more buttery. All right, Cyborg Santa. I have a Libtech Orca and a Burton Custom. Any suggestions to add to my quiver? Yeah, you need a carving board in there, bud. You need like a Karua, something that just rips a turn, maybe like a Ride Peace Seeker, Amplitude Holy Grail, something like that. Just straight groomer killer. So, corduroy killer. All right. MJV14s. Yes, standard on ink versus Mega Merc 2023. I haven't ridden the new Mega Merc, and I know that the core profile got changed in it. It's like, I think it's a little stiffer than it was. And then they changed the base tune shape on it. So I need to ride that. I'm going to hopefully get on that in November. But the standard on ink blew me away. That board was like super responsive, straight camber, good edge hold, just through and through, just a great board all the way around. All right. All right, Kyle Murphy. In your opinion, how much overlap is there between the Libtech Dynamo and the Capita Mercury Mega Merc? The Dynamo would probably be a closer deck to the Mercury versus the Mega Mercury in terms. There's definite overlap. You're going to get lighter weight with that Mercury, and it's going to be a little more responsive. It's got better snap. It's not going to be as damp as the Dynamo. On edge, you're going to get better edge hold on the Dynamo, but better edge initiation on the Mercury. But that's at speed. At slower speeds, the Dynamo is easier to carve than the regular Mercury. All right. Let's see. All right. Darren Bone, I have a Karua Auto. If I just like exploring the mountain, hidden side hits, etc., no park, would the tranny finder suit me better? I do love it. Just keep riding your auto. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You don't need another board. Plagal, Cadence, new snowboarder. What are your thoughts on the Capita DOA? It's their do everything kind of twin for intermediates and up. If you're a brand new snowboarder, you probably want the Pathfinder or the Outer Space Living. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Looking for some questions here. Shy Links, will we see a Super Happy Time Death Machine review one of these days? Probably not. They just dropped their boards today. That's my friend Dave Tran's company. Dave used to own Monument Snowboards back in the day. They make a limited run. I think it's like 200 or 400 snowboards, pretty much all based on pre-order and stuff like that. I've talked with Dave briefly about it, and I just don't think it fits. I think he's got a good thing going. He doesn't need me. So they're out there. If that's your thing, do it. We got a super chat from Ian. Take my money. I'm not the one taking your money. Technically, it's YouTube and Apple payments and stuff. They take it, then they take their 33%, and then I get your money. So yeah. Oh, well. Won yourself a small sticker pack, sir. All you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder, and I'll get that in the mail to you, which I just sent out a whole bunch of stuff. All right. Tim Hunt, big pow weekend on the Nutcracker. Have you ridden the Excavator 23? No, because nothing changed. Can still get a 22. Just wondering if the base downgrade and core downgrade on the 23 make it worse or better than they downgraded it? I was told that they didn't do anything. That's news to me. I mean, base downgrade isn't going to do anything. The core downgrade would be what I would be worried about. That's going to change the flex in it. But I wasn't told that when I asked about it, nothing changed. So, no. All right. We got Morrison Botang Jr. Hi, Avran. I have a question on bibs today. Do you wear bibs over or under the mid layers? Yes. Tibby TT, DOA has lived off the hype Capita originally created and having a team film of the same name. Well done, Capita. That's very true. That's actually why that it's their version of the custom, basically. All right. Stuff I find interesting with the super chat. It's my C-section day. Thoughts on rip sticking? You should have been aborted. All right. Anthony Sherrill, what are your thoughts about the full camber Burton Custom? It's the Toyota Camry of snowboards. It's versatile. It'll get you where you need to be. Drink your Zima. And it gets the job done. Now, some people can ride it more aggressively. Some people just use it to get groceries. That's how I view the custom. I don't really think it's anything special at this point. By the way, I stopped watching a lot of posers because of you. Thank you. Well, glad I could help you with that. Okay. All right. Luke Desaunier, angry. Do you snack on the hill or do you stop for a lunch break? No. I'm partial to chowing mango strips on the chairlift to keep the day going. Happy summer. If I eat anything, it's pocket bacon. Everyone should have a bag full of bacon in their pocket. It's amazing. Pocket bacon. My friend Crowbar always has pocket bacon. Whenever I'm hungry and he's around, I know I can be like, yo, pocket bacon me. And I get it. But I only ride 4 hours a day. Like I try to eat breakfast, go shred, be done by 1 o'clock. Maybe I grab, if I'm at a basin, I'll grab food on the way out. If I'm at Copper, I pretty much dip and get back in time to hit happy hour after I walk the dog at Castaways or someplace like that. Like maybe I usually keep like a candy bar or something in one of the pockets, and that's it, like one of the minis, and that's it. All right. Let's see. Got the super chat from Jesus Freak here. Got a chance to pick up last year's Ride Wildlife on eBay for $144. Board is a 160. Looks to be in really good shape. Is it worth a look? That board's stiffer than people think it is. I mean, if you're looking for something for fast charging at $144, and if it's in good shape, yeah, that's a fucking deal for sure. The way that board's marketed is a little overkill for someone like that's going to go for it. They're like, oh, it's good for intermediate. And I'm like, you might want to be like a high-end intermediate. So, holy shit. You just won the puffy jacket. About time. Oh, God. Yeah. That definitely hit. XL Puffer. For people that believe that they don't win anything when they watch this channel. So yeah, mid-layer puffy jacket from Air Blaster. It's green. It has snaps and a pocket with a zipper on it. And 2 front pockets on it. So yeah, give me your mailing address down there in Arizona. I think that's where you live. And I'll get that in the mail to you probably this weekend, if not early next week. But yeah, win yourself that XL Puffer. Guess we're going to have to go find something new to add on there for next week. Sweet. Been wondering when we were going to get rid of that thing. Been holding on to that for a while. All right. Adam Rossiter looking for a spin. I think. What do we got? Ouch. Lose a turn. All right. Well, you want to put me in the not interested pile? Boom. Put you in the timeout, motherfucker. I don't care. All right, Jack Harrop. Boards that are similar to the Rome Ravine that I should take a look at. Dinosaurs Will Die, Wizard Stick, the Jones Stratus. Let's see. To an extent, the Yes Pick Your Line DCP on ink, not the regular Pick Your Line. Let's see. What else would I put in there with the Ravine? The K2 Niseko Simple Pleasures is somewhat on that level. And I'm trying to think, like, what else would be good? Oh, Nidecker Thruster kind of fits in that vibe as well. All right. DWD boards. Powder board for the East Coast tight trees. 130-pound size 8 boot. Possibly an older model I can look out for that's on sale. Check out the Rosenel Sushi or the Sashimi. You can pick those up super cheap right now. I would also look at the Rome Stale Cruiser. That one wasn't a high seller. It was a good board, but you can ride that like a powder board. That'll be fine for you. You could probably even do a service dog from Rome. Let's see what else is good for you. You can usually pick up like a last year's Ride Super Pig on discount. You can probably even find a 2-year-old one if you really hunt around. So yeah. All right. All right. Frank 0020 is the Sashimi Light Women's 152. Something to consider at 160 pounds for carving the hard and slush. You'll probably overpower it. J Sloth 4130. Did you get on the new Westmark rocker? Wider, less effective edge, more open side cut? No, I haven't, but I'm not worried about it. So yeah. Oh, we got Kevin Hub in the chat here, people. That's surprising. Good old Kevin. Still alive and kicking. Steve Okay. Have dropped about 40 pounds because reasons. Good for you. Was 180, now about 140, 145. Should I downsize from a 158, 5'7", size 75 foot? Yeah, I mean, 58 is going to be a little big because you're losing 40 pounds of weight. That's going to change how much pressure and drive you actually put into the board. Brendan, hey, Angry, is the new core in the Capita Black Snowboard to Death the same as the Super DOA and the Mega Merc without the 3D core shaping? It's like similar to it. You got to realize, so this upcoming year, the 2023 Black Snowboard to Death, they took last year's one, which was super stiff in my opinion, and the previous year's one and melded them together. So you get more torsional flex, but out in the tip of the tail, you get more power. So it really does drive more approachable underfoot for steering. But when you really want to like hammer that thing, you don't have to worry about any chatter. It just crushes everything in its path. So, okay. Let's see. All right. All right, we got Jack Harrop. And what current boards are comparable to the interior plane project Haro? Broke mine in the spring, and well, I can't get those now anymore. Yeah. So if you want something similar to that, the Signal Park Series, the Ride Zero, the Rome Agent is fairly close to that as well. Let's see. Rosinal Jigsaw, although the camera profile is a little different because you get cam rocker in it. The Marhar Dark Side for this year would be fairly close to it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Shane Dengo 32. I have a twin all mountain board and a powder board. I'm looking for a hard charging carving board that I can go Mach 10 on. What would you suggest? I was kind of thinking Black Snowboard of Death or the Jones Aviator. Thanks. Black Snowboard of Death over the Aviator. I'd look at the K2 Alchemist as well. That's a really good one. Maybe you want to go look at a Karua, like a Transition Finder or an Auto too. Auto will probably be a little softer than that, but the Transition Finder would fit that bill for you. You could even bump up to like a Pencil or a Pencil Plus. Let's see. What else? I mean, you really want to, for carving, that Ride Peace Seeker is friggin' absolutely phenomenal. I'd also check out the Nerd Superposition as well. All right. Dan Rao, I want to grab a Dinosaurs Will Die rat this season. Have they lost quality switching factories? It's not a loss of quality. I think they just had some lead times and shipping issues. Supposedly Gino is going to get me stuff in the fall to ride. So yeah. Let's see. David Engel, expecting any changes to the 23 Battalion Camel 2? No. That one should stay the same and still be a really solid board to ride. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right, smash that like button. Stuff I find interesting. Besides late-term abortion, should I get a dance hall or anything similar you would recommend? Get whatever you want. Who said anything about late-term abortion? We want full-term abortion. Like, rip sticking. No, the dance hall is solid. That's a really, really fun party board. Super solid ride. I really like that. It's probably one of the best boards Solomon's putting out right now. If you're looking for something similar, you're looking at maybe like a K2 party platter would kind of fit the bill for you, or even a Telos backslash. Spray them skiers, people. Spray them skiers. All right, we got Adam Rossiter, 38 years old, 180 pounds, size 10, 6'2", coming back after a 10-year quote-unquote hiatus. Well, let's see, you're 38, 28. You mean you went off, got a corporate job, family, kids, wife, whatever, live in the suburbs, drive a minivan. East Coast and big snow, looking for 2 parkboard quiver wrecks, jib and all mountain freestyle deck. Watch the video, brain melting, thanks. Okay, so here's what you want to do. If you're going to go re-ride in the Dome, you need something that's just middle of the road flex. This is what I'd recommend. You're on the East Coast, you're in that New Jersey area, you're probably riding Mountain Creek or maybe Big Boulder if Vail hasn't fucked it up any more than it already is, but you're in that mid-Atlantic region. I would look at like a Ride Zero. I think that's a really good, solid option for you. I would look at a Rome Artifact Pro if you want a little more snap out of it. It's not going to give you much more for the price jump on it, but Artifact, even a Ride Kink would be good. Let's see. That Signal Park series would be good. And I'm going to throw the Rosinal Jigsaw in there because then you get a little bit of edge tech as well from when you're outside big snow. Now, for that all-mountain freestyle board, I would look at like your Battalion Goliath, but you're going to lose edge bite because of the 3BT, so you got to be aware of that. So you might not want to put that one as high. The Jones Mountain Twin, edge tech, it's going to grip, all-mountain freestyle. Capita Mercury, I don't think you need to go to the Mega Mercury. I think the regular Mercury would be totally fine for you in that regard. But if you want something a little more twinish, then I'd probably look over more at a Super DOA instead. I think that would work for you. If you want to do something from Mervin, I would maybe check out I think the Headspace would kind of fit in that realm of twin, and that could be your park board as well. You could just get away with one in that. You can even do it the 4x4, but that might be a little stiffer than where you want to go with it. But that should give you more than enough options right there. Let's see. Trevor Hall, thinking of selling my E-Jackknife and picking up a Jones Tweaker. Thoughts? Why? They're two entirely different boards. Oh. Murdoch, 6 feet tall, 210 pounds on a 57 Rome gangplank. Ain't right? It's not a bad option. Packet of cereal. Was at a shop and a guy walked in. All the guy said was he's looking for something all mountain, a bit of park. That's all he said. Sales guy whips out the Mercury and Standard, asks no questions. I mean, those are two great options. Michael Kulig. Avran, in your opinion, how much has K2's new team, especially Sage, changed the new generation's view of the brand? Well, it's cool that they put on Pat Moore because you get like this legacy. Like, he's riding out the end of his career. We all know it. You know, his wife's pregnant right now. You know, he started wearing a helmet, being an advocate about helmets. His wife is on the board for Save a Brain. It's really cool to see that. Seeing Sage kind of bounce around. He's found a place with a brand that can develop boards for him for his style of riding and is promoting his style of riding. They're not like, you need to go do contests. They're like, fuck it. Go ride POW. Oh, you want to go do natural selection? Cool. Go do that too. I think you look at like there's street guys, they're Euro guys, they're women. Everything is good. They've got a good thing going on there. It's pushing them in the right direction. You know, JG's working with K2 Ride. Now that he's not with Burton, I think that's really going to change some stuff. Like, K2 is one of those brands that's always fluctuating. I mean, you got to realize they've been making boards since 87, so 30 plus years. And when you watch that up and down, they ebb and flow. But when they're at their peak and they're really pushing the materials, the brand, the marketing, it's great. And then they screw something up, and then it's like, phew, and then it comes back, and then it's like, phew, like peaks and valleys with them. All right. Got a super chat from Patrick Ainer. Anger, I got myself a 22-23 Mega Merc with a 20% discount. Wanted to ask you if the Union Ultra would work with this board. Greetings from the Austrias. Yeah, the Ultra is the binding you really want to be putting on that board right now. That's like the ideal binding board combo from C3 right there. So, yeah, do it. You're going to be good to go. Still need to ride the Ultras. I think I'm going to get on those in like November. No one cares that you ride a Donic. All right. Johnny Stewart, is the GNU 4x4 confirmed for this year? I mean, I wrote it. There's a review of it. So, yeah. Oh. Anthony Hawking, which is the worst company who have been able to inexplicably fool people into liking them via marketing? There are two that come to mind, Donic and Gilson, but Gilson takes the fucking cake. We're going to put a less than Jake graphic and then a Slayer graphic and then a fucking Colorado Avs graphic and then some bullshit from Boston graphic, and then you're going to all need it and you're all going to eat it up, and it fucking soft edge technology will give you an over the pants hand job and you'll fucking ejaculate off the lip and everything will change for you, and it'll be the greatest fucking thing you ever felt in your, like, fuck that brand. Their shit is trash. Their boards are built like shit. Shit. Literal shit. I took a huge big dump right before I did this live stream, and that was still better than anything Gilson could ever put out. Those things are the fucking worst. They're only surviving because they hired a marketing firm out of New York City to do these licensing agreements. So they're undercutting everyone else that does snowboards that would do like promo shit. Their promo boards are trash. Their boards are trash to begin with, but their promo boards are trash. So I see all these people riding around on it. My favorite was this dumb fuck that worked with my boy Bruce and Copper, East Coast kid that was like, I ride a Gilson. I'm going to be faster and better than all of blah, blah, blah. Bruce is like, yeah, faster, better than all of us. You have no fucking edge control. And this kid would just talk shit all the time. And I'm like, he has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. He has no edge control. He just goes straight down the fucking middle. Anyone can go straight down the middle if you don't fucking turn. Fucking absolutely fucking horse shit, fucking garbage. Gilson bullshit. This is a Gilson core that I cut. Right? I cut it. Okay, so this side still fully laminated. Do you notice anything with that core that seems off when I hold this perfectly level? This side is thinner than this side. Why? Because they don't have a fucking CNC machine. They're not CNCing their cores. They're hand sanding them, which maybe they've got a CNC machine because they've probably got some fucking money now, but these boards are fucking trash. Like, what the fuck? Uneven fucking cores? Like, fuck you. So, duh. Okay, Milo, do you think domes or dry slopes are the future of the sport? I think domes. Riding in the dome was closer to riding on the mountain than riding on dry slope ever was. I rode dry slope back in the day when Woodward used to have it at Copper. So you drop it on the dry slope. It used to actually be the steepest run at the mountain because it was like fucking. That thing would break people's fingers if they fell and shit like that. Riding in a dome, you're riding on man-made snow and it's icy and crusty. And if you go early in the day when the kids are at school, you don't have bomb holes and shit. You can actually set an edge into it here and there. But I think that's really the future. So, yeah. Let's see. Francois Seguin, spin for Slim, the undercover agent. Oh, God. You're just encouraging him. You're just encouraging him. Is he going to bounce back? Ooh. Ouch. Lose a turn. All right. Let's see. We got Ricky F. Insanos cause foot pain being so stiff. That can be part of it. It can also be that it actually doesn't match the anatomy of your foot. It could be the insole in there is a piece of shit. Foot pain is so subjective to things, but generally speaking, if you're not used to having a stiff boot, you probably don't need a stiff boot, especially if you're not a highly active person. Like most people don't need super stiff boots. They just need a mid-flexing boot. But most foot pain is derived from the footbed. The stock insole is laughable in that boot. You should reach in, just rip it right out. Put something in there that's got more support and just contours to the foot and holds it in better. So. And eat your muscle cheese. If you eat your muscle cheese, you won't have foot pain. True story. Ooh. Yo-yo guy with wide 23.5 Mondo feet. Any tips on searching for boots? Seems like the men's market's more catered to larger feet. You're going to need to order from the Japanese market. The Euro market might, like something like a deluxe, but a Burton Japanese boot, I think they'll make it in that size. They tend to run wider, so you're going to want to check that out. That might be the way for you to go. So, yeah. That's 23.5 and they're wide. Fucking hobbit feet. Yeah, probably really hairy. Trevor Hall, any thoughts on the Snowplanks Asim fish? I rode one of their Snowplanks boards. They're heavy and damp. Interesting rides. They've never sent me anything else, so there's that. Murdoch, you ever ride a Yonex? I've touched one once. Never rode it. So, anyways, I see we're slowing down with questions, so maybe we'll pack this up a little early today. But anyways, if you got questions, get them in the chat box. We're going to try to finish up here in the next few minutes. Isn't slowing down. I got stuff I got to do. Okay, we got Gio Ormo Kadeze, UFC Fight Night. Buckhouse and Dope Gear with Gilson and Clue Bindings versus Angry Snowboard. Why are we wearing snowboard gear if it's going to be ultimate fighting? I want nothing he can grab onto because then I'll have to bite his hand and then I'll probably get HIV. Liam Woodland, canted binding footbeds. What general stance height range is at risk of knock knees from them? 22 inches and 5'11", for instance. It's all personal preference because everyone's leg length from the heel to the knee is different. Like, it's crazy. I'm 6 feet and my mom is 5 foot. She and I share the exact same seat setting in her car, except I have to recline it back like 2 clicks just for me. Otherwise, she and I do it. But my dad, who's 6'4", and I, like, we try, he has to crank the seat way back, even though you'd think that he and I would be more in proportion than my mom because there's a foot difference. So it's one of those things. The other thing is, do you have knee issues? If you have knee issues, you got to take that into account too. And that takes everything in there. Like, I have knee issues. I don't like canting because it affects it because I cant my footbeds and whatnot. All right. Let's see. Stuff I find interesting. How's the theremin coming? I bought a synthesizer this week and it showed up. My friend texts me. He's like, "Oh, you making Tron music?" And I was like, "Electric Jaws." Dun, 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 dun. So that's about where I'm at. I think Kevin's more of the theremin type playing guy. Remember to subscribe. Yes. Super Motards, is there a brand you feel is putting out a higher quality board across all models? K2 Rod, GP87, Capita. Those are like 4 right there that stand out. If we're talking U.S. manufacturing, I think Marhar stands out in the grand scheme of U.S. manufacturing as well. But those are like 5 brands right there that stick out to me as being really, really solid. Okay. Anthony Hawking with the super chat. Who gets cast as Avran in the Angry biopic? Klaus Kinski. Maybe Marlon Brando. Why? Because they're both dead. Just sit there and do nothing. Oof. Lose a turn. Packet of cereal. Hey, Avran, could you detail a bit further on why you prefer the foam straps on Rome bindings than the Aux Tech? Yeah. Contour is better to my boot shape and the way I have a bone, my internavicular bone, which is the bone. So you have your ankle bone and then inside there's another bone to it. So it's your internavicular bone. Mine sticks out really aggressively. So the Aux strap, when I put it on there, the way that it contours and locks in, it was putting too much pressure on it. So the foam strap actually relieved the pressure for me. So that's why I roll foam straps. All right. All right. John is, hey, Angry. I have an unusually wide stance, 25 3/4. I'm 6'3". Would you consider that overly? Oh, my God, yes. Should I attempt a bit more narrow? Yes. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, dude. How do your knees feel at the end of the day? That just feels uncomfortable. All right. We got Banky. Let's see here. Huck knife, or is there a better alternative for playing around and doing more stuff in the park? Already own free ride / all mountain boards. Huck knife solid. They revamp it for this year, and so it's got more snap to it. Really comes down to what you're looking for, but I really do like that Public Dispute, Joe Sexton's pro model. I think it's the Dispute, just to make sure. But Joe Sexton's pro model, that one's good. I've been digging that. I've been digging the Rome party mod for myself for park, but even that Agent is good. They're all relative in there. All right. James Peterson, got here late. Have you ridden the redesigned Pantera yet? Looks like they got rid of the taper and tweaked the side cut among a few other things. I haven't. Shanks, what would be the best song to play while being chased by a bear down the slope? Mine's Barracuda. I think I'm a lumberjack and that's okay would be great. Dan Rao, is there any way to convince a Donic rider that they don't need that board when they have a size 10 boot, even though they claim I boot out on every normal board? Next time they're doing a toe side turn, go up behind them, take a finger, poke them in the shoulder, and watch them fall over. And be like, you don't need a board this wide. You need to learn how to fucking turn. That's really what it is. All right. Adam Finley, any tips of finding a rock board for shoulder seasons? I don't want to wreck my usual board, but I don't have much experience buying something I know will get trashed. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, if it's going to get trashed, go find a $100 Craigslist special. And then what you do is you look at the model of it. Just make sure they put the model name or whatever it is. Google search the model name. Guarantee if it's anything in the last 10 years, I've got a review of it. And there you go. Don't pay more than $100. Lester, would you go with a Ride Warpig or a Jones Mind Expander Twin for a powder board? I'd go with the Mind Expander Twin, but remember to upsize. That's the big thing with that board. Like, they try to tell you it's slightly volume shift and you can get away with downsizing it. But the truth of the matter is you want to upsize. That's one of those few rare boards where you really do want to upsize. So I just ended the poll we had going. Underhyped or super hype boards, 90% yes, 9% no out of 164 votes. I don't know what we were saying yes or no to. Hype, super hype, underhyped, it doesn't matter. Okay, Alan Poon. Angry, is Nitro Binding's air pocket really that amazing? Oh, yeah. If so, will the dual air pocket bindings be too much and affect responsiveness? No, they don't affect responsiveness at all. The only time you notice that is when you come down hard and you try to crater into the ground. That's the one time that you're like, ooh, this feels nice. So, yeah. Adam Finley, one last question, if it's all right. What are your recommendations to learn jumping without destroying my old body? Tramp sessions, tumbling lessons, etc. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You need to learn how to take a slam and roll out of it. But trampoline will give you air awareness, but it creates weird habits because you start to get used to like having that spring to throw yourself versus having that pop off a snowboard. So like you don't have that motion where you're going like this. So you're just going like that. Tumbling lessons will help. The other thing is start small. So what you want to do is go right to the kiddie park and you hit the jump with no speed, you make it over, and go a little faster and you go a little further and further. And what you want to do is be able to get to the point where you can overshoot the kiddie jump, understand you're overshooting the kiddie jump, put your tail down, and then roll right into the landing on it. It's one of those things that like you need to not fear it and you need to not fear speed. You're more likely to hurt yourself on a jump going slower because you're going to deck and knuckle and that compression versus if you go fast and you land in the sweet spot but you wash out, you're just going to slide. The other thing is you need to learn not to put your hands out in front of you and flail around. You got to learn. That's why I said Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because you want to learn how to take that slam with your body tucked in so that when you hit, you can just be like and get up. Going to the gym will help you as well. That way, you're getting everything nice and tight in there so your joints are strong so they don't dislocate and everything like that. And for everyone that's talking about Donix and their board width and stuff, Shred Ahead Snowboarding in the house has something great to say. Wide board isn't the answer. Body position over the working edges. And that's why I always tell people, most people that kick out on a regular width board and then claim that they're booting out, they don't know where to put their weight, so they're not engaging the side cut properly. So when they're on it, they just tip over. That's the big thing. Ooh, okay. Okay. Super Motards, have you seen a negative impact on the quality of lib boards in recent years? Opposite. They've actually gotten better. Been a diehard for a while, but seems they fell off. No, they've actually gotten better. They changed their epoxies, and their boards are actually more durable than they've been. Plus, they're not overproducing. Like when Quicksilver owned them. Sorry, my neck's bothering me. When Quicksilver owned them, they were just overproducing so many boards that the QC had gotten worse. QC has gotten better. The boards are actually riding better. I think that they're doing better stuff with the core construction. I think that they've just gotten a lot better. I'm not saying you're not going to get bad batches of stuff, and I'm not going to say people don't ram that unprotected tip into stuff and it delams and whatnot. So, all right, we got Tyler Tan. Angry, switching from the K2 Manifest, debating between the passport and the instrument. You want a little more soft, playful, a little more slashy off the tail? That's the instrument. You want a little more precise, a little more power? That's the passport. All right. Anthony Hawking, kiddie parks are massively underrated for learning. Correct. You can learn a lot in a kiddie park. You can also get really worked, too. I watched a lot of people get worked in there. There's got to be like that fine line. Ooh. Pick a random question and they get a spin. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got Fizzled. Capita, Outsiders or LibTech box knife for the park and cruising out on the mountain. The Outsiders is stiffer and more aggressive. It will be better outside the park than the box knife. The box knife will end up being a little more loose in the tip, so you're going to get a little more chatter, even though it is a damper board underfoot. I think if you're like hitting more jumps, bigger jibs, you're gapping onto stuff, you want to go with that Outsiders. If you're doing more smaller jumps, you're ride-on features, stuff like that, that's where the box knife really comes in. You do get a spin. Ooh, yeah. Remember to subscribe, people. Remember to subscribe. Griffin Edmonds, do you notice any difference with Mervin's new progressive magnet traction on some boards compared to this? Oh, God, yes. I actually have a whole explained video going over that, like on the banked country and how that board rides with that magnet traction versus their standard. Holy shit, they ride so different. I got on that at first and I was just like, what the hell? What the hell? It changes how you've got to approach, how you engage and disengage the turns. But damn, is it not bad. All right. Let's see. Fruit Poop Loops. Is Slim still alive? I don't believe so. He may have driven his Miata off a cliff or into a lake or into a fiery pit of hell. I don't know. But like a bad case of herpes, he will return and fire will cure it all. All right. Johnny Desmundo, what helmet do you recommend? So one, you want to make sure when you look at the helmet, is it a hard hat or is it a helmet? Hard hats have a different set of rules to them. They're not a helmet. They're not multi-impact. They're not good. You want to get an actual helmet. Then from there, it's what fits your head because everyone's head shape is different and it's what technology goes in there. I am very much a Giro guy. I like them. They work. I can get that low profile fit that I want. It does what I need it to do. It sits well on my head, especially around the back and stuff, so I don't have any pressure. The other thing is, do you want something with that boa knob to help tighten, loosen it and stuff? Like my next helmet that I go to, I'm going to the boa knob so I can just crank it and it's going to lock in. So yeah. All right. Jeff Sprague, going to Colorado again for a week this winter before Vail ruins it entirely. Are Copper and A Basin worth the drive from Steamboat? You're talking about a 2-hour drive. And on a road you don't know, so it might be 3. And if there's snow, it might be 4. If there's no road conditions are a non-issue, my record time, I think, was 54 minutes from Breckenridge to Steamboat, which is absolutely insane at about 100 miles an hour. But A Basin, you got to understand, is a ski hill. It is not a resort. As much as they try to tell you it's a resort, it is still an old school ski hill. Like you roll up and you look at it and you're like, there are no fucking amenities here. You're like, the parking lot is still dirt. And that's the thing. Like A Basin, amazing on a powder day. If it's wind blown and it's horrible conditions, you are friggin' miserable because a lot of that mountain is above tree line. Copper, on the other hand, is like Steamboat Big Brother. You've got a little bit different terrain, steeper trees. The snow's good, way better park. You got the whole backside, wide open bowl, stuff like that. Like Copper, super fun. If snow's good, it's been a good snow year. Yeah, totally worth it. If it's not, no, stay in Steamboat. All right. Scott Jones, which board you taking for trees and bolts and knee-deep pow? Board A, 159, 26.5 waist with reverse camber, or board B, 158, 25.6 waist with cam rocker. I'm going cam rocker because then you can get more load and pop. So, and you're talking about riding trees and a bowl. I want to be able to pop in that bowl, and I still want to be able to, if I hit the bottom in a turn in the trees, I want to be able to push that camber and drive the tail out of it. So. Okay. Jonathan Dardeau. Hey, I moved from Alaska to New Mexico a few months ago. What places would you recommend in northern New Mexico or southern Colorado? Angel Fire, Taos, Sipapoo, or Coyote Creek? I would go to Taos for sure, especially if they're getting POW. Angel Fire is like hit or miss. You got to kind of pay attention to the way the snow is. Sipapoo is just a small little hill. I don't know anything about Coyote Creek. All right. Okay, so anyways, I think we're going to call it a day. Kind of answered everyone's questions. If you want anything, you know who we are. Email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com. You'll either get your jacket or your stickers from this. So congratulations on that. We did do the Angry Late Night this past Sunday. I think we're going to bring that back, not this Sunday, but we'll probably do like one every other week or so. We had a pretty good turnout on that, so we're going to do that. I'm going to be finishing up the pant destruction video with the cheap pants, so we can go look at like dope snow and price point stuff from other brands, and then a whole bunch of Amazon knockoffs. So I got that coming out. Remember, we got a review every Friday until September, and then it's a video a day. I've got stuff scheduled with the premiere, so you don't have to worry about that. That'll just pop up. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got going on for you. Click the bell, get those notifications. And if you really want to support us, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. There's a link in the description. You can watch the video over there, decide if it's for you, if it's not for you. It's all good. If you're looking for merchandise, angrysnowboarderstore.com. There's also a link in the description. As always, guys, thanks for everything, and I'll see you in another video.